Good evening, everyone. This is the special 5 o'clock update issued Saturday evening, November 29th, concerning the winter weather situation that we have developing tonight. And then again, we'll briefly talk about what's going on Monday night into Tuesday, but the focus of this is mainly what's going on Saturday night. So some of y'all may be seeing the radar. You're seeing some echoes, especially back around Nashville and points west. It's going to take a while for that precipitation to make it to the ground because the air down here is so dry. We'll talk about that more in just a moment. But precipitation should be moving in over the next few hours, and that will take on some different forms. So Upper Cumberland Federal Credit Union bringing us our headlines. Clouds increasing ahead of tonight's storm system. We've been seeing those increase throughout the afternoon and evening. Still expecting some gusty winds tonight from the south, gusting to 30 miles per hour at times. A wintry mix of rain, sleet, and snow is possible from the time the sun goes down all the way till probably about midnight. And then we're looking at that cold rain Monday night and a chance of snow now for Tuesday. So I created this graphic. I couldn't find anything online that explained what I'm trying to explain with our situation for tonight. So I just went ahead and created one. I'll be tweaking this a bit because there's a few things on here that, are graphically unappealing, but some snowflakes cut in half, etc. But I do best when I'm explaining things with a graphic. So we all know it starts out as snow from the base of the clouds. It is super cold up there. So we got snowflakes falling from the clouds. But then we got a warm layer of air, and it's not a thick layer of warm air, but it's above freezing. And so when those snowflakes fall into that, remember last night I talked about when warm air starts moving in, it's light. And so it moves up and over this cold, heavy, cold air that's down here at the surface. So it's just easier for the warm air to go up and over that cold air, at least at first. So the snowflakes fall into that warm layer of air and they melt into raindrops. But the air down here is so dry that as those raindrops fall through another layer that is very dry, including this here at the surface, then they evaporate. And evaporation is a cooling process. So if you see that blue line there between the blue line and that bottom red line, that's that cooling from that evaporational cooling, we call it, which creates a shallow layer of cold air. And it is below freezing. At least it will be, tonight, at least till midnight. So that causes the raindrops to then refreeze into sleet pellets and or snowflakes. And then those fall on down here to the surface where it's cold, but it's above freezing. So you don't get accumulation. That's what we're expecting tonight. Now, could we at times drop down to 32 briefly? It's possible, especially in colder spots. And you know where those are on the plateau. If you live in a colder spot or you've become accustomed to where those colder areas are, those places that freeze when no one else does and the like. So sleet, some snowflakes, and some raindrops falling pretty much between now and midnight. So not expected to be problematic. Be careful, though, if you're out and about and you encounter this sleet and these snowflakes, because if you go through a colder area, the ground is very cold. It was very cold last night. So things are cold. It didn't warm up much today. So just be aware of that. But again, not looking for a big situation. Precip amounts continue to look light with this whole system. So Stubbs generators level of concern for tonight, still not a meteorologist mark weather alert night, because I don't think we're going to have any significant problems from any wintry precipitation. Just a chance of rain, sleet mix from sunset to midnight. So nothing has changed with this graphic from this morning's forecast. Now, 24-hour temperatures, I updated this a little bit, didn't make any major changes. Nothing major has changed from this morning's forecast, dropping down into the 30s this evening, going down into the mid-30s by, say, 9 p.m. with those scattered sleet, snow, rain showers across the plateau. Notice it warms up to 36 a degree by midnight. That's because those southerly winds are howling, and so they're bringing in just a little bit warmer air. So again, no sub-freezing temperatures on here. If something with that changes, I'll let you know. One thing for sure is that the air down here at the surface is very, very, very dry. It's going to take a minute for the precipitation to reach the ground. But again, through evaporational cooling, those sleet pellets make it to the ground easier than a raindrop would. So those may fall through that dry air and make it here to the surface. We've seen that happen before on the plateau. Staying above freezing through the night, rising up to 40 by 9 a.m. tomorrow. Precip chances, I updated this just a bit to a 30% chance for that Wintry mix of precipitation by 6 p.m., 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., and then 9 p.m. we're bumping up to 50%. And then by midnight, we're rain at 60% chances, and then 50% chance on into Sunday morning. But again, temperatures should stay above freezing for most of the plateau, if not all. Tonight's winter weather threats brought to us by B&H Storm Shelters. Very low wind risk for snow, very low wind risk for sleet. Again, I've got it explained there. Temperatures should remain above freezing, especially as these southerly winds continue to kick up and blow in here. Looking at Monday night, I'll talk about this very briefly. This is the weather map for Monday. I think this kind of sums it up. My goodness, it's just a mess across the Mid-South. And so here we are in the plateau. This particular map shades our area in the green, but we're right there like a little island of rain surrounded by wintry mix, etc. So I'll keep an eye on things. We have snowpack that is building today from a winter storm that's going up through the Midwest. Models are adjusting based on the snowpack that is being laid down across the Midwest with this particular storm. The reason why that's important is because the north winds that come in with our system Monday night into Tuesday, if that snowpack causes that colder air from the north to be a little bit colder, then we could be looking at a change in the forecast to more of a wintry type situation. So just something to keep in mind. I'll explain more about this as we get closer to that event. But again, our headlines for tonight: clouds increasing, storm system blowing in. I will say, as more data comes in with the Monday night Tuesday event, the snow does keep trending a bit southward. So now it looks like Kentucky's kind of in play for some snow, accumulating snowfall from this, and maybe even areas of northern Tennessee now. But that's because the models are adjusting for the snowpack that is being laid down from today's snow across the Midwest. One thing is for sure, we have an overnight low forecast of 33 degrees for Monday night. We've seen cold rain on the plateau many times before at 33 degrees. But if temperatures trend colder, obviously that puts us sub-freezing. So we could be looking at anything coming into play from freezing rain to sleet to snow to maybe a mix of all. Now, it does look like that as the system moves out on Tuesday, there will be a changeover to some light snow. Accumulations for that are unclear at this point, but I could see some light accumulation from that during the day on Tuesday. But we'll have to watch Monday night very closely because it is a close call, and I urge you to check forecast regularly. This has the potential to be like the event we had earlier in November, where if you weren't checking the forecast regularly, that snuck up on you. And we did have the slick roads. Monterey Mountain was terrible. It was just a mess. So keep checking back for updates, because if the forecast could change rather dramatically, with additional guidance that comes in, we'll either trend more toward colder rain or we'll trend more toward the wintry side of things. So lots to watch, even more activity even beyond that in the week to 10 days past even Tuesday. We've got more wintry weather chances coming up. So yeah, I'll be watching it all, keeping track of it all. I'm keeping an eye on radar right now. Precipitation moving into the Nashville area right now, moving east. So we'll be watching that precipitation make its way toward the plateau over the next few hours. I'll keep a close eye on things. I'll issue any special updates as they are needed, if needed. And I'll do a special update later tonight, probably around 9 o'clock-ish or so, to give you all the latest. You just keep it right here to Meteorologist Mark.